The Duck Who Didn't Like Rain. Derek was a new duckling. He lived with his family by the big pond. Mr. and Mrs. Duck were proud of their ducklings. Every morning they took them for a long walk. It was a long, dry spring that year, but at last it rained, and that's when the trouble started. Mrs. Duck was excited to see the rain. She lifted her wing carefully and woke the ducklings. "Look, children," she said, "it's a wonderful wet day." The ducklings rubbed the sleep from their eyes. "Is that the rain you told us about, Mom?" they asked, beeping with excitement. "Yes, indeed," she said. "Now hurry and line up. Your father's ready to go." "Let us proceed," cried Mr. Duck, and the duck family set off in a long line. But Derek lagged behind. "What is it, dear?" asked his mother gently. "Don't like it," said Derek in a small voice. "Don't like the rain. Makes my toes feel tickly." "Makes your toes feel tickly?" cried Derek's father. "Who ever heard of a duckling with tickly toes?" Mrs. Duck didn't shout. That evening she paid a visit to old Ma Goat. Ma Goat had a shop where she sold almost everything you could think of. Mrs. Duck was in luck. Ma Goat had some red rain boots, just the right size for Derek. Next time it rained, Mrs. Duck gave Derek the red boots. "Let us depart," cried Mr. Duck. "How's that, Derek?" asked Mrs. Duck gently. "Still don't like it," whispered Derek. "Messes up my feathers, spoils my hair." "Spoils your hair?" cried Derek's father. He was very upset to have a child who worried about his hair. Mrs. Duck went back to old Ma Goat. What luck! Ma Goat had a smart yellow slicker, just the right size for Derek. Next time it rained, the Duck family shouted cheerfully, "Hurry up, Derek, put on your slicker and boots." "How's that, dear?" asked Mrs. Duck. "It's great, Mom," replied Derek. Suddenly he saw a huge rainbow. "What's that?" he asked. "That, my boy," said his father, "is a rainbow. A rainbow comes when the sun tries to shine through the rain." "It's beautiful," said Derek, gazing upon the bright colors. Then he looked around in wonder. Everything sparkled in the rain. After that, Derek wanted it to rain every day. He didn't always see a rainbow, but he loved exploring in the rain, and sometimes he was in such a hurry to get started that he even forgot to put on his slicker and boots.